So hello, my name is Graham. I'm from the Vintage Guitar Players group, and welcome to another Vintage Legends. It's been a bit of a while since we've been here, so definitely good to be back, and thank you for joining us. So Vintage Guitar Players group, you can find us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/groups/the Vintage Place. You can also check us out at 95 Vintage Legends on Instagram. And again, as you always know, we'd love you forever if you subscribed to our channel here as well. So thank you. Today we are back, like I say, for the first Vintage Legends in a while, and we couldn't think of a better way to get back into the swing of things than speaking to my good friend Dean Bibb. So Dean, thank you very much for joining us today. Dean is a guitar player with hard rock act Non-Friction, who are from West Virginia. So if you don't mind, just to get the ball rolling, Dean, please feel free to tell us a little bit more about Non-Friction in your own words.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's an honor, man. Thank you very much. Non-Friction is a band based roughly out of Charleston, West Virginia, the capital city of West Virginia. And you just basic good times rock and roll music. We love it. We stay very busy, and we get a really great crowd response when we play. It's a very exciting band to be in. Five-piece band, 2 guitars, vocalist, drums, and bass guitar. Really high energy show. Everything from Joan Jett and the Blackhearts and Rick Springfield on forward to Ella King and Fall Out Boy, and I think we're gonna have some Muse, all kinds of great stuff. It's very exciting. It's a good family atmosphere.
It's a whole lot of diversity in there, and the different kind of genres too, you know. And you guys are active. You guys are. I follow your social media. You guys are active.
Very active. It's the busiest band that I've been in 20 years.
Yeah. What do you reckon? Plans to expand out of the kind of Charleston area? Plans for further afield, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. We're in the talks to book. If you look at West Virginia is kind of a blob of a state. It's kind of like, wow, somebody really drew up some weird lines there. But it has 2 panhandles, and we're in what's known as the southern part of the state, the Kanawha Valley, and branching out of there puts us into the southern coal fields where I live. I live about an hour and 20 minutes away from our home base in Charleston. I actually have to drive past a small borough called Glasgow.
Really?
They have a Loxon Dam there on the Kanawha River, and it is Kanawha. You have no idea how many times I've seen programming from America and the UK, Australia, and they're trying to pronounce names, and they're like Kanawha. Hey, it's Kanawha. It's exactly the way it's spelled. Yeah, but I digress. So I have to travel a good bit, and every 6 months they get down here into Beckley, and I have friends that have a big sound and lighting program in the northern part of the state, and they work into also Maryland and Pennsylvania, and I'm hoping that they're going to put the word out about us as well. This is a time where things slow down in the winter,
yeah.
And we take off. We're gonna be taking off like stallions, probably February or March, and have another full year. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Again, it's nice sometimes to get the kind of break over Christmas when things do wind down for certain things. But yeah, it's much better to just get charging at it when it's you miss it,
Well, we're not getting a break over Christmas. I mean, we're active. We're inactive 2 weekends out of the rest of the year.
That's
we have New Year's Eve booked. We have Christmas parties booked. An interesting thing, just a couple of weeks ago, and I think this speaks volumes to how the band connects with people. People will buy our T-shirts, Non-Friction T-shirts and stuff like this. We played at a moose lodge in Barbersville, West Virginia. Someone had waited for our show to have their birthday party.
Really?
They're like, hey, we're going to get the cake. We're just going to have the party at the Non-Friction show because we love Non-Friction.
That's awesome.
And that was humbling, because somebody likes the band that much.
Yeah, I have to say though, good time rock and roll stuff is my jam, definitely. And on the note of guitars, obviously we had been having a bit of a chat before we came on to this interview, full disclosure. But with vintage, how did you stumble upon them in the first place?
I had seen some ads in guitar magazines and hadn't really beheld one face to face. Can I plug my local mom and pop here in Beckley?
Certainly can.
Okay, Guitars Plus in Beckley, West Virginia. I've been a customer there since '91, and I love those guys, and I think they love me too. So, but anyway, I call on Tuesdays because I know they get their shipments on Tuesdays. I'm like, hey man, you have anything cool coming in? What do you have coming in? And Shane Miller, the guitar tech there from Miller Guitars, he's like, man, we got some real cool vintage gear coming in. I'm like what kind of vintage gear? He goes, the brand Vintage, JHS out of the UK. I'm like, really? I think I've seen those in magazines and stuff. He's like, they're cool. You'll love them. They look beat to pieces. It's right up your alley. And so I walk in and there's like a Sunburst V6 Icon with the humbucker. And I'm like, man, this is tight. And I'm looking at this thing. It's got a Wilkinson bridge. And my favorite bridge of all time is the Wilkinson VS100 or the VS50. So I know Wilkinson is quality stuff. I've used Wilkinson stuff on several guitars. I'm looking, well, the pickups are Wilkinson. I've heard nothing but great stuff about Wilkinson pickups. And Shane's like, check out the tuners. The tuners, I mean, all of the hardware is Wilkinson. And I sat down with the guitar and it sounded right. It felt right. It was amazing. And somebody bought it before I did. Matter of fact, somebody bought the entire range got sold before I got my paws on them, man.
That's just not fair, man.
No. There should be a law. But, you know, they had the lemon drop in the reissue. They had the AFD. They had the Icon lemon drop. They had several Icon V100s, several Icon V6s with single coils and with humbuckers. They had a lot of it gone out the door.
Damn.
You know, a lot of it was sold online. And a lot of it was sold locally.
Okay.
And I didn't get my hands on one until a couple of months ago when I traded off the last of my 412 cabs. But I'm pretty sure it came through the store. But it had went through some changes by then. So,
well,
but that's how I heard about vintage. That's how I got to playing vintage and fell in love with it.
Yeah, and I know obviously you mentioned you do have, you know, a bit of a kind of love for the kind of Wilkinson hardware and such. I mean, again, there's a reason that brands like Sir, I'd imagine, use, you know, that kind of hardware on guitars that are worth a couple of grand or put out a couple of grand at least, you know. So it's definitely testament to the quality you're getting. And this is the bit that I'm dying to see again. Tell us more about the vintage guitars you've got just now and any modifications you might have made.
Modifications, yeah, okay. Well, I've got a friend here in Beckley, greatest guy in the world. I would take a bullet for this guy, Charles Adkins. And I got this guitar from Chuck for the last of my Ampeg 412 cabinets. That was the last 412 cabinet that I owned. And he had a V6 Icon lemon drop. And, you know, the Icons are relics. He decided he was going to relic it a little bit more, and he turned it into this, you know, and there was heat involved. But you can't knock the fact that it looks cool. I love the way this guitar looks. It didn't have pickups. So I guess the first actual modification that I made was I got Wilkinson M Series humbuckers.
That's cool. So the M Series ceramic ones, that's cool.
Yeah, and I'm halfway through replacing the tailpiece and bridge with locking Wilkinson gear.
Nice.
Now I've got the roller bridge. I'm not sure what kind of tuners were placed on this, but they are a locking tuner of some sort. I'm not sure what the make and model is, but you know, I love the thing. The weight is right for a Les Paul. That's one of the things that always bugged me. Although I don't mind heavy guitars, but a Les Paul, maybe it's just me. maybe it's some of this guitar voodoo that people subscribe to every now and then, but a Les Paul has to be worn like low with me. I gotta wear the thing low.
Just
I
in
don't
reach.
know. Yeah. I may be able to give you a sound example of what the M series sounds like in these.
They're pretty cool.
I can. Yeah, you want me to try to fire it up or?
Feel free. One question I do have though,
Yeah.
this is quite an important one. The pickups in it are obviously not the stock pickups. So did
Right.
you keep the out of phase thing in the middle, or did you go without that?
No, I don't believe the out of phase was kept. I toyed with wiring it for greeny tone, but I had my first gig with non-friction coming up around the same time.
Let's
I'm
get
like,
it
let's get the
functional.
pickups in. Exactly.
I'm
So
just curious
so
what it
I
would
don't,
sound like with hotter pickups like that than in
I
the
don't,
greeny kind of thing.
I don't know. I mean, these are not the stock pickups that come in the guitar, are they? It's
Yeah,
WV or
yeah,
starts with a W.
it's the 4-wire ones that are a bit cooler than that, and I'm just thinking it must be like, greeny on steroids.
Yeah, we'll see if we can run some sound here. Let's see. Hopefully this doesn't hurt.
That's okay. If it does,
Oh, well, I unplugged the thing from everything, didn't I?
I just thought there was a
Oh,
lot of compression.
yeah.
That's all
Yeah,
good. Do you know,
there's a
that's all
noise
good.
gate.
Do you know what we'll need to do instead then? We'll just need to make sure that people check out non-friction, check out the social media.
Right.
That's
Yeah, because
absolutely fine.
we actually, sorry about the snafu, but we do pay the license that allows us to put cover bands out. So that's one thing that we've done, and that's helped because people can actually hear
Yeah,
that. Hey, this is an okay band.
that's decent, man. So, I believe you're hiding there another vintage toy. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. It just came in yesterday. I won this one off of eBay. A V6M24
Very nice.
surf green, and it's really in good shape. And I love 24 fret guitars.
Yeah,
I just am a sucker for a well playing Strat, and the neck heel on this thing
yeah,
is
kind of
really
sculpted.
nicely contoured. Yeah, you can get right on up and get into an F sharp or a G really easily. And
Yeah,
it has the Wilkinson VS50.
yeah.
Which I'm not even sure what the difference between that and the 100R. But I've had both, and I've put both on guitars that I've made or have modified, and I love them both.
Excellent. Now, curious as I am, if you were to get a custom vintage or a pro shop model or something, what would we? Well, I was going to say just the one. Come on, that's not very fair. But if you were to go for just the one, what would we be seeing you order?
Yeah, I when the notification went out that the custom shop's pro shop was open, I sent in I sent in specs for one, and I hope to get it next year. Actually, I've talked back and forth with a gentleman named Tom about it. I hope to actually order the guitar next year.
Cool.
But it would be what I spec'd out was a V6 Icon in purple. Like if you think Prince and the Revolution, if you think Purple Rain,
Yeah,
that purple. I didn't see any purple V6s, and I thought that an iconed out V6 against a sunburst body that's distressed purple agained that.
yeah.
But the
Very
difference
cool.
would be, the difference would be that it would have two humbuckers and a single coil.
Nice.
And I had spec'd out volume, tone, and a coil split option for the humbuckers.
Yeah.
A little more versatility, and a reverse headstock as well. And I was talking about the Wilkinson VS 1300 tremolo. Have you seen that?
I actually have not.
Its saddles are different from the 50 or the 100 class in that it has a curved locking screw
Right,
that
okay.
will gently lock the string into the saddle itself. So now it's locked like a Floyd Rose here.
Ah, cool. Right, okay.
Yeah, I had seen another one of my friends, Bill Zaffaratus. He has one on one of his guitars. The saddle set is what he has. He doesn't have
Right.
the actual tremolo, but he says it works in conjunction with locking tuners, just like a Floyd Rose.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Probably a bit more straightforward in terms of setup and maintenance and tweaking than the Floyd Rose as well.
yeah, definitely.
As
You don't
much
have
as
to
I
cut
love
the
them.
ball ends off. Yeah.
Yeah. As much as I love a Floyd Rose.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but no, that sounds awesome. And you reckon if you're looking at purple over sunburst, do you reckon sparkle or you reckon in matte
Yeah, I was
or
thinking
gloss?
like a purple sparkle would be really cool, but I hadn't really thought of that. I was thinking just like one of the icon style matte finishes in purple. That
That'd be
you
pretty
kind of
sweet.
like what you would. Yeah. And so I've got the quote. I'm just waiting to pull the trigger on it. So,
Nice.
which,
I'm just
as to pull the curtain back here. Yes, I play guitar for a local band, but I'm self-employed.
yeah,
And so every dollar, every penny does have to count.
yeah.
So it'll be a few months, but I'll make that happen. And who knows, maybe something will come up that'll change my mind, and I want something completely different. But that's the one that I got quoted, and it's doable. And I would be very, 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 very excited to be able to order that tomorrow. But I'm gonna have to wait a little bit. So.
Well, again, fingers firmly crossed that it's something you can get before not too long. I know I think a thing that is the trouble for me is that I'm really quite terrible for liking an idea. Like, for example, see the silver bursts, I could probably have about 1 million of them. I could just have like an entire collection of them. But I really like that, kind of satin black. Um, I've also, not to go too much detail into this, but a while back I put a kind of mock up in the group of a thing that I would call someone had deemed it the Eiley burst, kind of green colour, but almost like inspired by a kind of bottle of whiskey sort of finish, that kind of
Okay.
colour, pretty cool. But yeah, maybe we need to speak to Paul. More importantly, music wise, where can, apart from obviously being in West Virginia, where can we check you guys out?
Well, Nonfriction doesn't have a website per se at the moment. That's one of the things that we're talking about. We're very active on Facebook. You can look us up, non-friction, and you'll find a picture of the band's logo with a picture of our lovely singer's face,
Awesome.
and she's blonde hair, sunglasses. You would see that. Um, I have music out with my old band, Under Authority, which I was extremely active with from 98 until 2003.
Okay.
You could find that at underauthorityonline.com.
Nice.
And um, I have a Reverb Nation page, but that will showcase a variety of music from 1998 home recordings on forward. So I'll mention it, but it's something that really could stand a good updating and some
That's
good
all
stuff.
good.
I've got a bunch of songs rattling around in my head, and I'm working on some demos, as we speak actually. But I think the newest thing that's on that Reverb Nation page is 4 years old. Um,
That's all good.
but it is there. But Non-Friction, usually if the band isn't streaming something live on Facebook, there's normally a fan that's streaming something live on Facebook. And
Cool.
we're performing tonight at Brooks's Cafe, which used to be Riverside Cafe in Winfield, West Virginia, just to the west of Charleston, West Virginia. So that's where we'll be tonight at 800 Eastern Standard Time.
Nice.
No, not 800. Goodness, that's when I'm supposed to be there. At 2000 hours, 8 o'clock p.m. So that's when we start. And our entire schedule is there on Facebook, and I share the schedules as well as some of the other band related things on my Facebook page as well.
That's cool. Well, listen, everyone, please do feel free to get in there and check out Nonfiction. And if you're in the area, go check them out. And yeah, we need to get you up to the other Glasgow at some point. We'll try and get that for 2024. We'll get you guys across here, okay? Warm welcome.
There we go. Yeah. I'm a strong swimmer, but I prefer to fly. So.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Listen, let me say thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it, my friend.
My honor, my privilege. Thank you, Graham. Thank you, Vintage.
No, honestly, a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the gig tonight, my friend. All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.